Hi, in this video, our group will present about the mobile programming assignment 3. Our group have 3 members and I'm one of the member. My name is Tekawen Nomometrics 291624. Our our member is Tiu Jianwei and Tok Wei On. Now I will demonstrate how our mobile application works. First, our applications will fix with the various screen size. As you can see here, the interface will display fixed with the different screen size. And here now in this page is the main menu and our apps title is multi-functional API apps. Here you can see 4 buttons for menu. And these apps we will use 3 types of API, which is weather, news, and COVID-19 to provide real-time informations and functionalities for the users. Now I'll briefly explain each of the menu functions features, button features. And for the weather is to let the user to see the latest weather informations from the different states. And the news is it will fetch the latest headline for different categories for user to see the latest new articles. And the COVID-19 it will assess the latest COVID-19 statistic to let the user to see the latest COVID-19 cases. And for user log is to let the user to review the history that their previous actions within the apps. Now I'll demonstrate how the weather's button features run. And when click the weather button, it will go to the weather information page. And if user did not select any states and click the get weather, here will display the area message in the display area. So user can click the states and choose the states that they wish to see the weather information. For example, Pulau Pinang, and get weather. It will display the states weather informations here. As you can see, the temperature have 2 type of temperature, which is the Celsius and Fahrenheit. The reason why we display both of the temperature is because we consider that some of the people may understand Fahrenheit but not understand the Celsius, and some of people will don't know what is the Celsius, what is Fahrenheit, and just know about the Celsius. So our apps is developed for the user friendly and to let the user feel comfortable. So we add both of the temperature here to achieve the requirement for both type of people. In this display area, we'll display the temperatures and how the weather feel like, and the conditions, and some advice for the user to let them more easy to plan their daily activities. And if user wish to see the other states weather information, just choose the other states, click the get weather button, and here will display the current weather for the specific states. For example, Kedah, this is the Kedah weather informations. Perak, and this is Perak. For Sabah, this is for Sabah. So the weather information is available for all the state in Malaysia. If the user wish to back to the main menu, just click the back to menu buttons and we'll go to the main menu button. Right, that's all for the demonstrations for the weather park. Now I go to explain the coding. First, I will explain about the index.html. In this document, we will using 3 external style sheets, which is the boot sheet and the font awesome for style for the icon and the button styling. And here we also using the external style sheet, which is the what we custom the styling and spacing by using the CSS document, which is the style.css. This is the 3 type of external style sheet that we use in this HTML document. And this is the style that for the button. And this body coding is for displaying the button in the main menu. And this is the functions to link the button with the HTML documents. we will go to the specific HTML and run the functions here. And this is how we link the HTML document with this JavaScript. We're using the script text to link to ensure that the JavaScript can load after the HTML document. Right, that's all for the index.html. Now I'll explain about the weather.html. In this weather HTML is similar with the index.html using three style sheets, and here is the and this coding is for button back to the menu. When click it will back to the index.html, and this is the job list that previous showed. This is to let the user to choose the different states. This is all the options, and this is the button. This is the button functions, and this get weather is when the user click the button, it will run the get weather functions in JavaScript, and this is the display area. And we also in this document also link with the JavaScript. Now I explain the JavaScript coding. For this part, I will just explain the weather part. And for now, this line is dot get element by ID where the locations the value. This is to fetch the location value that the user click the states. It will catch the states locations from the user choices. And for this log user interactions is to record the user actions to display in the log.html site sections. And this is the API that user in the weather. The fetch functions, the fetch function is to make and synchronize request to the URL. And for this dot then response is the user response. If the response is not okay, for example, like the network connection problem, it will throw the error message, which is the network response was not okay. If the response is successful, it will praise the response as JSON and then pass the data to the display weather functions. And also it will catch the error if there is the problem from fetching the data. It will display the error message, and this is to let the error message that display in HTML the display area side. If cannot fetch the data, it will display error fetching where the data please try again later to inform the user in the display area. Now I'll explain about the display weather functions. In this display weather functions, we will implement the calculations for the temperature. This is how we work with the calculations side with using the format. Right. For this line coding is how we extract the Celsius temperatures. And this line is how we convert the Celsius to Fahrenheit. With using the mathematical formulas, the calculations, which are using the formula temperature Celsius multiple with the 9 divided by 5 plus 32 to get the Fahrenheit temperatures. And the field light temperature is similar with the previous. This is also how we extract the field light temperatures, and this is the formula how we calculations. After the calculations, this part is for the advice. This is with using the if else statements and using the Celsius temperature for calculation the advice. If the Celsius temperature is more than 30, it will display the advice, the hot outside, and the advice that stay hydrated, wear the light cloud clothing. And if more than 20, the weather is warm, more than 10 is cold. If less than 10, it will be quite cold, be the advice to dress warmly. And next, I will explain the inner HTML. This is how we construct the HTML to display the data. We set the inner HTML to display the weather data include. Here you can see this is for the state name, this is for the temperature, this is for Celsius and Fahrenheit, this is the field light Celsius and Fahrenheit. And this is the weather conditions, and this is for advice. This is how we construct the HTML to display data. Alright, that's all for the weather parts. That's all for my parts also. Right, thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Towe On and my metric number is 2914227. Now I would like to present about the news functionalities in this system. So we can, as you can see, we can click the news button with the small icon design. So the system will navigate us to enter in this news UI, and if we want to back it to the main page, we can click this button. And here we have several options for the news categories such as the general, sport, technology, and entertainment. Now I will present it one by one. So we click the get news button. After a while, it will show the several news type. So here is the news title. This is the news description and the publish date of that news. And if the user want to read to review the article, they can click this button and read more. So it will navigate the user to this full article. So this is a general news, and for the sport news SM, it will show the article title, description, and the publish date. So user also can click the read more button to read the full article. So if there is any error with the news, they will show the error message. So in this case, it show that no news article they found in this category and this is the entertainment category of news. So we back to the login page. So if the user have using the functionalities, the system will record all the action that performed by the user, and it will contain the date, the time, and what function that have been used. So that's all for the system review. Let's move on to the coding part. So this is a HTML file for the news, and I will show the important part. This is the back back to the main page button, and there is the specific ID name as the news category, and in this ID it have several options such as we mentioned before: general, sport, technology, and entertainment. So if the user click the button get news, it will perform the function of get news function in the JavaScript file. So let's move on to this. So for the news part, there is get news function and display news function. And let's go to the get news function first. So in this line of code, it used to declare the constant variable to find and access the value in HTML file with ID news category. Uh, so it referred to this. and it is to get the value such as the categories, the sport, the technology, and entertainment. So after we click the get the category, it will store the action into the log user interaction by calling this method and this is the API key and API URL API link. So let's move on to the function fetch statement, and in this fetch statement we have the if else statement that if there is any error out of the issue, they will show the example is network response was not okay. If there is if the data length equal to the zero, which means that there is no any data related with that category, it will show the no error message with no news article found for the selected category. And this is like we have shown before the error message. So the error message we start with the statement of error fetch news and plus with either this statement or this statement then and followed by please try again later. So let's move on to the display news function. As the same, this line of code is to declare the constant variable to get and find it the HTML ID named as the news display, and this is to create a header of Malaysian news at the top of the news section as we have seen before, and start from here is to display each line of the article. So let's look one by one. So this is the moment.js that used to format the publication date and time that we have seen, such as the format is like the June. This is referred to month, such as June, years, date, and this is the time of the publication time of the article. So it display the article title, article description, and the publish statement and read more button that navigate the user to the full article page. That's all for my part. Thank you.
My name is Dojung, battery number 291957. Now I'll continue our presentations. Now we'll start the demo. Okay, this is our application menu. This is the COVID-19 API. Now I'll click it. Then I will get latest data. After that, it will show the Malaysia latest COVID-19 statistic, like the total case, date, recovery, and the others. Okay, now I bet this is the user log. I click it. Then click. It will show the latest user interaction. Right, what user have used the API and what time they've used it. Right. Okay. Now we'll explain about the code. This COVID-19 HTML code. Okay, this first we will link to the CSS. Then we use the bootstrap, and this library is control for this the button. Okay. This the log about the user interaction HTML. Okay, also same need to connect to the CSS. After that, the external library like this. Okay. And then the JavaScript. This also have. Now jump to the JavaScript part. For the COVID-19 API, we have created a function first. Then we put the API link in a variable first. In this, the open API, it does not need the API key, so I don't use it. After that, fetch it and respond their JSON file, then display the data. It will jump to the display data function. Okay, design like this. It will show the total case, total date recovered, and the others. After that, if you have any error, it will show error fetching COVID-19 data. So if we don't have the internet, we use it, and also it will also show this because this API need the internet. And then this is about the user interaction function. First, we create a function. We use it to show the date and the time step. After that, we will we'll use the local storage to set the data and then get it. You can see we have used this function and call it in every API to know what API which have using like this. The get weather use get news and this get COVID-19 data. We also have call this method. After call, it will save the data in the local storage, and then in this display part, we will use it. So we'll call, we'll get the item out to display. If no, if user never used it before, it will no data, and then it will show no user interaction log. This is the requirement of the assignment 3, like we call us to use the if else statement. Okay. After that, we will sort it based on the time, the latest time. Then this record will only save the latest 10. After that, we will run it like this. Then one part need adding is after link with the JavaScript, we can call the function from JavaScript using the on click. When we click the button, it will run the method of the will run the function of the JavaScript by display log. And this COVID-19 API also same. So that's all for our presentation. Thank you.